Here we're going to take a look at using the tables to solve for other unknowns other than FV or PV. So for a single sum problem. Okay, so in this case, if we have both PV and FV, and what we need is either the interest or the number of periods, then we can use either Table 1 or Table 2. And we'll just use the formula that goes with either one. So let's look at this example. The village of Salmonok wants to accumulate $70,000 for the construction of a veterans monument in the town square. Beginning of the current year, the village deposited $47,811 in a memorial fund that earns 10% interest compounded annually. How many years will it take to accumulate the $70,000 in the memorial fund? Okay, so here we have our FV, that's what we want in the future is the 70,000. And we know our PV, 47,811. We know how much interest we're going to make. We need to know, well, how long is it going to take till we get to the 70,000 that we need? Okay, and so here's our timeline. We have our PV of 47,811, our FV of 70,000, our interest is 10%, our N is the thing with a question mark. So I'm going to use Table 2, okay? You can use either one. You'll get the same answer. Okay, it's just a slightly different formula. So if we use Table 2, we have the formula of PV equals FV times Table 2. So we plug in our known numbers. We know that PV equals 47,811, FV equals 70,000. We're going to multiply that times Table 2. So now I have an equation with 47,811 on the left side and 70,000 on the right side. So it's Table 2 factor that I don't know. That's my X for the equation. And so I want to get Table 2 by itself. So I'm going to divide 70,000 by 70,000. That will wipe that out, make it equal to 1. And then I have to divide the other side of the equation also by 70,000. So I'm going to divide each side by the 70,000. And that will get the 70,000 out of this side of the equation and put it onto the other side so that Table 2 will be by itself. Okay, here I've got a typo here. It says Table 1 and Table 1, so just disregard that. That's Table 2. Okay, 47,811 divided by the 70,000. That's what's on the left side of the equal sign. And now only Table 2 is on the right side. And so 47,811 divided by 70,000 is 0.68301. And that's what we're going to look in Table 2. Again, I'm sorry for the typo. Okay, so we're going to look in Table 2 for 68,301, 0.68301, and we're going to look, we know that we have 10% interest rate. So we're going to look down the 10% column for 0.68301. And when we find something that's close to that number, we'll go across and see how many periods. So here's our table. Here's Table 2, present value of 1. We have interest of 10%. Our N is unknown. Okay, so we're going to go down the 10% column till we get to 0.68301. And go across, and we see that's 4 periods. So that's the answer. It's going to take us 4 years. And we can double check that answer. Okay, now here if I wanted to use Table 1, we would have the opposite formula. FV equals PV times Table 1. So we put in our known numbers, 70,000 equals 47,811 times Table 1. Now we have to divide each side by 47,811 because we want table 1 to be by itself. So we have 70,000 divided by the 47,811 equals table 1. And 70,000 divided by 47,811 is 1.4641. And we're going to look in table 1 for that factor, 1.4641. We're going to look in the 10% column because we know that we have 10%. And then once we get down to something that's close, we'll go across and the answer will still be 4 years. I did not make a slide to show that, but you can look at your table 1. You should find a 1.4641 or something that's fairly close to that number in the 10% column, and then you go over to the end and you will see 4 years.